So we've done a ton of deep dives and policy-centric stuff over the last few days. We did a nearly 20-minute segment on fiscal and monetary policy yesterday. We are going to be talking later today about a good versus a bad clinical trial for a medication, how randomized clinical trials work, the importance of placebo, how vaccinations are developed and researched. Let's do a brief interlude from that because the Trump crazy hasn't stopped, and Donald Trump had a massive eruption, careful, I'm not using a different word. He had a huge eruption where he threatened his own campaign manager with a lawsuit. What made Trump lose his mind? It is some of those polls I recently told you about, the fact that Trump is losing to Joe Biden in a bunch of recent polls. This includes in the general election. This includes a couple polls out of Florida, one poll out of Texas, one poll out of North Carolina. So this was not a good 7 days for Donald Trump. Last Thursday, Trump wondered aloud about injecting bleach to treat coronavirus, instantly going globally viral and making him yet again the butt of jokes and a complete and total laughingstock. Friday, he bails on a press briefing without taking a single question, clearly to avoid questions about those bleach injection statements. And then he ends up Friday evening on a phone call with his campaign manager, Brad Parscale. And Trump went off on Parscale for the bad poll numbers. According to 3 people familiar with this phone call, Trump threatened to sue his own campaign manager for what, it's not exactly clear. Neither the White House nor the Trump campaign have put out any comment about these reports. Neither the White House nor the Trump campaign have denied the report, which tells us a lot about what we need to know. One Republican close to the White House said Trump is angry because he knows he messed up the briefings. Apparently, Trump started to become irate about polling last Wednesday night when his campaign manager and other advisors sat him down and they said, listen, the polls don't look good in a lot of these states. Many of these are important battleground states that you probably need. And they confronted him about how his briefings seem to be hurting him. Thursday, Trump drops the bleach bomb and things completely implode. Again, advisors go to Trump and say, you are hurting yourself with these press briefings. Friday, Trump goes absolutely nuts, walking out of the press briefing room without taking a single question. Hours later, getting on the phone with his campaign manager and threatening to sue the guy. So listen, this is not funny. It's not been funny for a long time. Trump is very much unwell. This is a sick individual. The coronavirus handling has been a disaster. We've already shot past the death toll that Donald Trump preemptively bragged would be where we end up of 60,000. Now Trump starts talking about 65. Well, we're going to be there in a few days and we're going to blow past that as well. And we have to worry about, can Trump handle this? Is Trump having another breakdown? Is he emotionally stable? We learned a couple of days ago that Trump is often watching, this is not a typo, Trump is watching 5 to 7 hours of TV a day before going to work around noon or later, rage tweeting as he watches TV. This is not a president. This is a petulant child. Trump has wondered about nuking hurricanes, nuclear weapons on hurricanes. Trump suggested the U.S. look at buying Greenland. Trump talked about injecting bleach, hitting the body with light, as he said, and on and on and on. And I get it that there's an element of comic relief to this. When I see this next clip, I can't help but laugh. This is video from earlier this week. Remember this?
Dickinson, Hologic, and Cephahide.
I get it. It's hard not to laugh at that. But this is a perfect storm of bad ideas combined with incipient arrogance, limited reading ability, and a personality problem, if not a personality disorder. And when you look at it in total, there's really nothing funny about it. You know, Cobfefi, Cephahide, all of it. Individually, these things are funny. I get it, and I laugh, and we laugh to avoid crying, quite frankly. But we're paying a big price for this now during the pandemic. And I would truly enjoy nothing more than seeing Donald Trump absolutely blown out in the November election. Trump often falsely claims that he had like the biggest win of any win in 2016. Remember, he lost the popular vote by nearly 3 million votes. I want it for the country. I want Donald Trump absolutely crushed in November because we need him out. I don't know that that will happen. Every single vote must be gained. Every single vote must be worked for. But I'm admitting to you guys on a personal level, I would take great satisfaction in seeing Donald Trump, the narcissist in chief, absolutely destroyed in a historic Joe Biden victory in November. I would take any victory, and we've got to work hard for every single vote. But this is a man who is not well. He is not well. And every single day we hear something else about his emotional instability. He has access to nuclear weapons, and he can't even control himself enough to avoid threatening his own campaign manager with a lawsuit for what we don't know, because he's losing in the polls and embarrassing himself on television. It's ugly. And we'll have continued coverage of this on the David Pakman Show Instagram page, at David Pakman Show. Make sure to follow. We'll take a quick break and be right back. There's a YouTube channel called Upflip that we're partnering with. I would love for you to check it out. I've put the link right underneath the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel when you're there. Upflip is a channel that is all about exploring small business and what makes a small business successful. Every episode interviews an entrepreneur. You take a tour of the business, and these are not generic interviews. You actually get a really fascinating deep dive into the history of the business, the mistakes the entrepreneur made, what they learned, what motivates them, what a day is like running their business. And you get all sorts of super interesting and valuable insight about what it's like to run that type of small business. As a business owner myself, I find Upflip's videos to be endlessly intriguing. Even if you don't own your own business, it is really great for a general audience. It's stuff that I think just about anybody would find fascinating. And you can check it out by going to davidpakman.com/upflip. The link is right underneath this video. When you're there, make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications.